Oh, they looking at this scar on my face because I used to feel like that. What up, Life Pack? I'm by myself because Dre's over the road. I'm coming to y'all today with a story. I keep getting asked, how did I get this scar? Okay, well, where do I start? I do not know. I was about 7 years old, I think. Maybe younger. I think I was like 6 or 7 years old. I don't know. I was on a swing. Do you remember? I don't know if you grew up back in the 80s when I grew up. Then you know that back in the day they used to tie a rope or hose or on a tree. I think it was a hose at the time. It was like a green hose, and I was a little girl and I was swinging on it. Actually, my brother and his best friend at the time, they used to always play fight, and when you play fight, when you play fight, you get serious, and you be playing bat, then you get serious, and they got serious at this time. I was on a swing and I was swinging. Thank God I was, swinging like this. You know how you try to give yourself that extra, I was trying to, pump. That's what you used to call it, pump. Y'all remember pump? If y'all remember the words pump on a swing, comment down below. But anyway, I was on the swings and I was, and I was pumping. Actually, I was swinging back and forth. My brother and his best friend was fighting at the time. They was playing, then they was fighting, and they was going around the building. While I stayed there, we had like three floors. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 3 floors and there was 4 apartments on every level. My brother and his best friend was playing, going all around the building, up and down the building, playing and hitting and throwing sticks and whatever the case may be. I'm a little girl and I'm swinging on the swing and I'm looking at them play, doing my thing, and I'm swinging on the swing and I'm looking at them and I'm doing my thing, just swinging. And all of a sudden, I remember my brother got the best of his best friend. Like he hit him real hard. He did something. At this point, his best friend is pissed. I remember him grabbing a 40-ounce bottle. It was brown. The bottle was brown, and he cracked the bottle. He had like the mouth part in his hand, and he crack. And I remember, I seen everything. I'm just swinging on swing, not thinking like, wow, he cracking his bottle finna hit my brother. I'm not thinking that, because they play so much and they throw everything at each other that I'm just not thinking. I'm just swinging on a swing, and all of a sudden he throw the bottle.
It was at this moment Nixon knew. He fucked up.
Why would you throw the fucking bottle at the little girl? Like, you throw the bottle, you don't care where you throw it at. You see the little girl right there. Why would my brother be standing in front of me? I'm just thinking right now. Talking about this story got me thinking. Like, why would you stand in front of me? Or was he running in front of me? And I don't know. He threw the bottle. Thank God I was turned enough that it didn't go in my eye or anything, but and it just went in my scalp, just like boom. It was like stuck. It just stuck in my head as a little girl, and I remember that this bottle is stuck in my head. Guess what, guys? I didn't even cry. It's stuck in my head, and when I tell y'all, like, the gash was like pink meat foaming out. It was just crazy. I just can remember taking the bottle out of my head and like going back to fill it, and my hand just went in my scalp, just went in. I seen the blood, and that's all she freaking wrote. I seen the blood and I was crying like a baby, going crazy, because this bottle, as you can see, it was bust from here, but as I got older, it kind of like healed a little bit, but it's bust all the way down here into like probably up in there somewhere. It was bleeding really bad. It was just gushing and gushing. I remember feeling meat, tissue. I'm screaming like crazy. Everybody run out of their houses. For you guys that follow our channel know that my mom is here in Paris, so someone had to go get her. My older sister that's older than me, that's under my brother, told my mom, like, come downstairs, Valentine here. So I don't remember what happened. It's kind of like, it's really foggy. I remember crying, seeing the blood. Somebody placed me on top of the hood of a car. I was laying on the hood of the car and I was crying. It wasn't hurting though. My sister asked me, does it hurt? She was about 9 or 10. I remember it, you know, I just felt at this time the blood is gushing down my eyes, like I can't see out of this eye because the blood was running so hard. My mama came and my mom was pissed. She's yelling, who did this to my daughter? And my brother, at this time, he get his best friend. Okay, this is what I'm told. At this time, I'm ambulance. I am at the hospital. Anyway, my brother beats his best friend up real bad. That was that. At that time, I'm in the emergency room. Now, they saw my head, guys. I'm feeling them put this needle in my head. Back and forth, just stitching and stitching and stitching. My scalp closed. I'm feeling the needle, y'all. I'm like, I wasn't pain free. That's when it hurt. That's when it hurted, when I felt them sewing my head up with a needle. Like they didn't think to numb it, or maybe they thought they numbed it. I don't know. I just know I felt them sewing my scalp back together. I remember, you know, when they got done, I don't know if they put me to sleep at this time or whatever, but when they got done, I woke up in the hospital room and my eyes was sewn so bad that it was like shut. Like my eye was like shut like this, to where I couldn't even see really out of this eye. I just remember they sewed it real bad to where it had my eyes like, you know, damn near shut. I don't know, maybe it swelled up. I don't know. I just know I was a little girl. I remember everything, but a lot of stuff was foggy at the time. I was in the hospital. My family used to come visit me. At the time, I don't know if nurses and stuff used to, you know how nowadays you go out into the lobby or you go out of your hospital room and you can see nurses sitting right there in that little cube. At this time, I'm in this room by myself and I wasn't scared. I go out of the room because I wake up at this point. No one's out there and the freaking floor was dark. So I just go back in my room. I think I went to sleep so I wouldn't get scared. I probably turned the TV on. I don't know. I just know that was that. I remember my mom and my sister and my grandmother, they all came to the hospital to see me. They told me my mom, he was a teenager. She whooped him like really bad. She threw him into the dumpster. She was pissed, like, you bust my baby head. You know, I'm the baby. Back then, they used to have men and boys that's older than you. They used to look out for you on your block. They used to, you know, have that back then. Nowadays, every man's for himself and everybody's into it with somebody or whatever the case may be. Back then, they used to watch little ones watch over us and stuff like that. The whole block like beat him up so bad, guys, that when he had his jaw was sealed. He had pins in his mouth or a brace. He couldn't eat. He had to drink through a straw. Like they broke his jaw. They beat him really bad. Oh, he bust that little girl head. A little girl on the block at the time. I get out of the hospital after so many months. I don't know how many months I stayed in the hospital. Probably 3. But I know when I got out the hospital, I had a little battery. I had a 9-volt battery. And so
when I see him, I'm gonna bust him in the head.
I can remember that plain as day. My older sister said,
Really? You ain't gonna do nothing with that. That ain't gonna do nothing.
I just remember her saying, you know, that battery ain't gonna do nothing. No, he got what he got it back when I was in the hospital. Anyway, guys, that's how I got this scar on my freaking head. I used to be so embarrassed and so ashamed of this scar on my face that back in the day when I was a little girl on to when I was a teenager, I used to always have to have my hair a bang on this side. Something always had to cover this side of my head. Even when I grew up to like in my 20s, I used to get my hair done and I used to make sure I covered this side of my face up. I was embarrassed of this scar on my face. Now I got older, I feel like it's a part of me and it'll never go anywhere. You know, now I don't have it. When you guys see this, it's just, you know, I don't even think about what people thinking when they see my scar. It's me. So I just go my everyday life with this scar and I don't ever think of, oh, they looking at this scar on my face, because I used to feel like that. That's the story about how I got my head bust. I hope you guys enjoy my story time, and if you want to hear more story times, comment down below. Actually, I got hit by a car when I was a little Sound terrible, right? Sound like I just had a rough life. But I did. I got hit by a car when I was a little girl. And if you want to know how I got hit by a car and you like this story time, comment down below.